3, 2, 1, start. At the outset, let me thank all of you who have participated in the deliberations over the last 2 days and have made this conference lively, interesting, and certainly very productive. We began this process 3 months ago in February in New Delhi, and I had mentioned then that this is only the beginning of a process and not a one-off event. The purpose, as I had said earlier, was to look at evolving a consensus among different groups and sections of society on issues related to Jammu and Kashmir. I believe and I am sure that all of you will agree that we have had fruitful and engaging discussions over these 2 days. A wide diversity of views have been expressed, and I believe that is the strength of this roundtable process, which has now become a forum to tap into a wide range of opinion that exists among political parties, civil society organizations, and others. As I have heard all of you over the last 2 days, the recurring theme that has been emerging from speaker after speaker is that while the roundtable process has its advantages and utility, we need to have a mechanism which can give concrete shape to the ideas expressed here, and a mechanism which can provide opportunities for meeting more frequently in smaller groups, a mechanism which can focus on the specific issues one at a time and find a common ground and forge a consensus in this diversity. We have all had the chance to express our views both in Delhi and in Srinagar, and I believe that the time is now ripe to agree on the concrete mechanism for taking this process forward so that we can address issues which concern the people of this beautiful state. Before proceeding to the details of a mechanism which can carry forward the process, I would like to delve on some of the more immediate issues which have been raised in the conference. I do realize that the people of the state are put to a certain degree of inconvenience because of the prevailing security situation. But it must be understood that this scenario is the result of the ongoing actions of certain elements who disturb the peace in the state. I have instructed the security forces to be more mindful of human rights and be sensitive to the liberties and self-respect of ordinary people. At the same time, it is our collective responsibility to create an atmosphere where the people of the state can be free from the fear of oppression and terrorist activities and can go about their normal lives like their fellow countrymen. If this requires strengthening the state police both in numbers and materially, the central government would be willing to support that. Another issue of immediate concern is that relief that we can immediately provide to those affected by terrorist activities and the state response to that. I have spoken in the past of the need to overcome animosities and moving forward in restoring normalcy in the state. In the context of today's roundtable and the voices we have heard, it is important that in our effort at nation building, we win back as our own destitute, families of those terrorists who have been killed in police action. We have initiated a number of schemes for rehabilitation or orphans of those who were victims of terrorism. Such schemes must be extended to all orphans who will need help in building for themselves a life free from violence and perceived revenge as upright citizens of this great state and of India. A number of national level NGOs have been in this field since 1994, of which the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation with its project Interact was the first. Since then, a number of local organizations have joined in this endeavor through orphanages and schools. I assure you that this is an area where we can all work together in ensuring that we provide succor and relief to all destitute widows and orphans of anyone killed in violence in the state. This will be our surest and immediate contribution to the peace and prosperity that we all crave. I will ask the Honorable Ministry and the state government to work out a credible mechanism of support for these families. Another issue of concern that has been raised by many speakers in the problem of detention under various acts. I am aware of the fact that in the atmosphere that pervaded in the state in the first phase of violence that engulfed Kashmir, many had faced arrest. A screening committee had been set up under governor's rule to review all cases, thus leading to the release of a number of young men found to be innocent, who were able to return to a useful life. At my instance, the Home Ministry has examined all cases of detention and in 2 rounds released detainees against whom there are no serious cases under the law of the country as such. Stop.